If you read the title of the story, that's right. It's a SAO movie review of Sword Art Online Progressive. Yeah, the same SAO series that's very controversially but also interesting at the same time when it's weird storytelling. Yeah, that SAO, the same SAO that been hated on by people that have no idea what they're talking about and maybe never watched the anime. But forget all that. This movie was all about season 1, behind the scenes and the life, the backstory of this character, Asuna Yuki. But before I continue with the video, I have to apologize to Klein. Sorry, Klein, we're not going to get that spinoff that we wanted. Throughout the movie, there were a lot of interesting parts, and we got answers to a lot of questions about Asuna and Kirito influence on Asuna. In the beginning of the movie, it seems like Asuna, well, had a perfect life. Well, not exactly. Her mom was an ass. Yeah, she was a real ass. Even though she had really high grades, it's not high enough to please her mother. And Asuna really took that to heart. But everybody in her family was really, really proud of her. Her father, even her maid. Wow, dang, even her maid was proud of her. And her brother. Everyone in school was taking notice that Asuna was rising through the ranks to become the top student in her class. She even got an attention of the top student in her class, and her name was Masumi. During the time Asuna was rising through the ranks to become the top student in her class, she was starting to get more popular. She actually copied and did the same things that Masumi did. But Masumi did not even get no credit for it, even though Asuna did the same things as her. But Asuna actually caught Masumi playing video games in the arcade, and she had no idea of that she actually played video games. And all of a sudden, you see Masumi and Asuna hanging out and playing video games. Isn't that cool? Two bad waifus playing video games. Say less, right? But these two started having a bond with each other. Even Masumi got Asuna into video games, and we actually realized how she got the braided hair, the signature hairstyle look of Asuna. Well, Masumi actually, that was her masterpiece, she say. Little did she know she have created the signature look of Asuna that we know today. The more those two hanged out, the more they got closer. And actually, Masumi was the one that introduced Asuna to Sword Art Online. She was actually the beta tester, the one that Kirito beat in the beginning of the movie. But Asuna wanted to spend time with Masumi so bad that she actually snuck in her brother's room and took his nerve gear. And actually, we did not see that coming at all. But when Asuna logged into the SAO world in the Incred, well, she actually had no idea what she was doing. She was even talking to the AI out loud in public, trying to get information of where Masumi might be. And during that time, he got a man that's just marching. He's just running and marching and just grabs Asuna and just try to talk to her. Like, what are you doing? And Asuna like scared to death. They had that look of her eye like, oh my god, I'm going to die. Something's going to happen to me. And it actually turned out was Masumi, and I have to admit, it was kind of strange and kind of creepy for the moment. But Asuna and Masumi talked it out like, hey, I am not Masumi on here. My name is Mito. And Asuna kept saying her name wrong, and like, it's Mito, and they hanged out. Well, all of a sudden, it was during that time, during season 1, when everybody couldn't log out. Everybody was freaking out. Asuna was freaking out. She didn't know what to do. And Masumi took Asuna in like, it's okay, I will not let anything hurt you. The first thing they did is get out of town immediately and start training because they would not survive with people going crazy and looking for resources at that time. In the first 10 seconds of training, Asuna almost died. Yeah, think about that. Asuna, the great Asuna, we all know, she was a great swordsman. Awesome, the duo partner of Kirito, almost died in 10 seconds. That's how bad a video game she was on Sword Art Online. It was so bad. But at the same time, in a short amount of time, she was really great at the game. The start, the beginning of who we know Asuna as we know her as today. The great swordsman, the partner, the girlfriend of Kirito. But one day, Masumi and Asuna looked for food, and they came up with these plant-looking people. And this must be for food or resources. Well, they're starting to battle them. But let me just say, Mito. Mito actually became selfish for a quick second because she actually saw a rat that had special resources, and she really wanted it and been trying to chase it for so long. After she kills it, Asuna was on the last two plant people. Well, she accidentally killed the wrong plant thing and actually summoned all these others, and they were in some trouble. So they were all battling these plant people, and all of a sudden Mito went flying over the cliff and she tried to get back up to help Asuna, and every time she tried to get back up, she kept falling off the cliff, and all of a sudden she just had to keep running up the hill, and by the time she ran up the hill, she got intercepted by the plant people. During this time, Asuna was giving it all she got, and she was killing some plant people. She was doing awesome, but her health was low. Mito's health was low, and Mito kept looking at Asuna, and she was like thinking, she is gonna die, she is gonna die. So Mito did the worst thing possible. She abandoned, that's right, she abandoned Asuna. She didn't even give Asuna a chance to survive or give her the benefit of the doubt she can do this. She has left the party. She has left the party and left Asuna like, what in the world? And you see Mito run and run, but the person that's the man that's flying up on the sky and actually destroyed this beast looking thing was Kirito, and Kirito was helping Asuna, and Asuna was confused, and Kirito was trying to give her some potions to help her out and trying to take her to town, and Kirito tried to be cool and try to put his sword back in and kept missing, and he just like, you know what, forget it. And that's how Kirito and Asuna first ever met. After that betrayal, Asuna didn't really trust Kirito at all. She was wondering why Mito left her, or did Mito die? She never was the same until Kirito somehow won Asuna and be like, hey, I know I can trust you and you can trust me. She had really had doubts, even trying to accept Kirito's offer just to team up with her just once to beat the first floor boss. And she had a lot of things running through her mind, even though she got betrayed by Mito. But Kirito explained something to Asuna. Kirito said that when you're ready to die and you're all about to die and stuff, and that you not really know what you're going to do during those situations because you do not know how to act, because you've never been in those situations before. That's why she ran away, probably. She's not a bad person. She didn't know what to do. And Asuna kind of realized that she might not did it on purpose. And this during the time when it was a big meeting about the first floor boss and stuff like that, when she saw Mito for the first time since she got abandoned. But we can all understand why Asuna feels like the way she does. That was her buddy. It was before Asuna and Kirito. She was the first duo. And that first partner she was with in the first original duo was Masumi / Mito and Asuna. So I understand the way she feel abandoned and betrayed by Mito. But we fast forward to the first floor boss, and like we said, Kirito and Asuna, the duo, the awesome duo, the iconic duo, they were kicking ass left and right. And finally got the first floor boss on his knees. Get on your knees! Da 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 da! After all that, they finally beat the first floor boss. Everybody was turning heads, and they were like, Mito and Kirito or beta testers, they are cheaters, they're a beater, and here comes the beater speeches. Yeah, he's a beater, he's a beater. And Kirito did the one thing we always admire him for, and this is what made him admire him more, is that he took a lot of the beating and the beater speeches on himself. He took all of the blame on himself. And this is when he went ham. He said, I'm a beater, huh? Yeah, I'm a beater. But after the greatest speech ever, Kirito took the blame for Mito and Asuna. Well, Asuna and Mito actually look at each other for the first time, eye to eye actually, since the abandonment of Asuna, and Mito's like, I'm sorry, and Asuna actually understood, but Asuna also told Mito that, hey, I know what I want in the future, I want to follow Kirito, and Kirito opened up the doors, getting to the second floor, he said, and here comes Asuna, and Asuna was like, I want to be with you, I want to follow you. And that actually terrible speech she had, that speech was terrible in my opinion. Oh boy, wait for the comment section about that, about Asuna's speech at the end of the first floor. Yeah, I can't wait for that. But yeah, overall the greatest movie I have seen in the SAO series. It was a great movie in the SAO series, the best one by far. It was really unique how to get Asuna's perspective and the friendships and the upbringing throughout the SAO and the NCRAD, and see how she survived and how to deal with certain obstacles and how to overcome them and how to adapt. It was really unique. One thing for sure, you don't have to wait very long for SAO's second progressive movie. It actually airs September 10th, 2022. Can't wait for that. Going through the floors of the Incred. But here's one thing you didn't know. Mito was not in the original progressive light novel. Yeah, crazy, isn't it? So at the end of this video, I'm going to let you sit and think about that. But until then, I'll see you in the next video.